Hi everybody, how y'all doing? Welcome to the office on this wonderful, lovely day. Guess what? I got some big news for you today. Lots of big changes coming, lots of big changes. Mercury retrograde is finally ending, but today's not the day to make any big decisions, all right? And we're having an election on following a full blue moon in October, which means we had 2 full moons in October, in the fixed sign of Taurus, in Scorpio season. Now we have an election right at the critical end of a Mercury retrograde, which is not a good day to have an election. Let me just tell you that. There's a lot of electronic issues surrounding the Mercury retrograde. Following this fixed sign of Taurus, it means that there's going to be some issues with being flexible with some of these mistakes that are going to be made. You're going to be seeing a lot of this coming up. I did vote. I hope people are going out to vote. I have to talk to you guys about the energies that I'm feeling because I had to come on fairly quickly just because I know that there's going to be a lot of things that are going to be happening. All right. So I know people expect everybody to talk about their political views. My views go beyond political, they're spiritual. So while these do, everything makes a difference, not about talking about politics right now. We're talking about the energies, how they're going to be affected, and how we're moving into this next round of these new beginnings. Because January 1st, like I said, we're going into the whole other 5D, and I want everybody to be ready for that. Okay, so yes, I voted. Here's my sticker. Okay, however, I want to tell you guys about something that happened to me at the polls today, and I am not happy about it. Okay, so I actually went to the polls, and yes, did wear my mask and everything, and I'm feeling so passionate about what happened that I need to talk about it. I was waiting in line outside, and people were really not spaced apart. I mean, people were spaced apart, but it was outside. So I just kind of moved out of the way, made sure I had enough space in between people. And, people were talking about a lot of craziness going on. Not a lot of people, but a lot of talking. So we actually got into the place, and these people were right up behind me, standing right up behind me. Were not giving me any space. And, normally if there's a place to stand out of the way, I'll just get out of the way instead of causing conflict. But I was just nicely asked them, will you guys please give me some space? Because everybody else 6 feet apart except for the people behind me. So they did not move. They did not move. And they were snickered at me. I'm like, okay, well, I guess it's time not to be nice then. Because that's just ridiculous that you won't move out of the way for people. I have high risk people in my family, people over 80 years old, and I have a right to have my space. Okay. So, I don't care who you're voting for. We're in a pandemic, and we're supposed to, if you're wearing a mask, obviously you're not going to stand behind somebody's butt. You know what I'm saying? So, I did tell them, I said, excuse me, can you please give me my space? And they ignored me, flat out ignored me, snickered. And then finally they're like, where do you want us to go? I'm 6 feet apart. That's where you go. That's where everybody else is. Finally, I did get my 6 feet, but I don't want somebody standing right on my ass. Do you know what I'm saying? So please be aware that if you're going out to the elections, you have high risk people in your family, or you just want to protect yourself, be aware that people are not respecting social distancing out there. So I don't know what to tell you. I didn't have the best experience with that, but did get out. It was a fine experience, but I'm just letting you know that there's so much that's coming, and a lot of things have been destined, in the past 5 years. Okay, there's been certain destiny points that as a country we needed to hit. There's nobody's fault or whatever about it, but there's certain things that were destined that needed to happen within the world, within the United States, that did end up happening, which kind of had had a lot of negative effects, but it also had a lot of positive effects to get people to be, passionate about, their voice and their vote and everything like that. So a lot of changes in this country. I mean, a lot of changes in the world, right? So we're at a point now where the destined events have occurred. Um, the destined events have occurred. Now we're at a point where there is a little bit of free will and there is a little bit of differences in where the United States is headed as a country. There is, it's not destined, okay, is what I'm telling you. It's not destined. It really depends on a lot of free will choices that a lot of not only people that are just voting are making, but also day-to-day decisions that the lawmakers are making, and it's just we're in kind of a spiritual testing period. So I'm the person, I'm not about sitting on the political ground. I'm not interested in that and discussing it. I'm interested in talking about the spiritual ground that will affect the political ground. Because a lot of, I mean, we all know a lot of politicians on either side are, I mean, a lot of it's theatrics, a lot of it is BS, and a lot of it's downright evil. You know that. You all know that, okay? And there are good politicians, just like there are good lawyers and good doctors and good mediums and evil mediums. There's everybody. So we're trying to get to the next level of consciousness. That's what we're trying to do. Now, we're going to talk about the energies, because that's kind of what I'm here for, is to talk about that. So I want to tell you that I don't think everything's going to be as easy with this election as people are thinking. Like they're just going to pick a winner and that's going to be it. I definitely feel that we're at the end of a retrograde, following a blue moon, following a fixed sign of Taurus, following when we're in Scorpio season. All of these signs and astrological components are not pointing toward easy decisions and easy wins, and what we're going to find. We're going to find possibly a lot of technological issues could surface with these energies. I'm not saying they will, but they can. A lot of counting of votes, a lot of ballots that were mailed in being miscounted or are just gone or thrown out, or people at the polls having technical issues with their computers. So I just feel like this can be an advantage and it can be a disadvantage to whoever wins or whoever loses. We may not get that answer anytime soon. But we are going into a whole other kind of dynamic, which I don't feel initially is going to be favorable. I feel like what's good may be evil and what's evil may be good. There's going to be a lot of backlash. It's hard for me not to talk about specifics, but I really can't, because it sucks, because spiritually there's a lot of people here that are thinking, I mean, we have to think, of the politics. Today's election day, whatever. But I'm thinking, I see things that go way beyond today. I see that there's going to be backlash. If one candidate wins, the backlash is going to be worse in terms of violence than if the other candidate wins. But then in long term, there's going to be other negative. There's going to be other negative repercussions. So while we're safe in one aspect, not so safe in the other. There's also, I feel, going to be other countries getting involved in this in the next week or two. I really don't feel like we're going to be having any solid answers, because I feel things are going to be kind of going back and forth with counting, and with there possibly could be lawsuits connected to this, that until they're fully until I just see legal issues, lawsuits, things happening that it's impossible to kind of gauge what's going to happen. And then I feel like in 3 weeks, when finally a winner is selected, there still might be, hey, that's not the winner. This came up and that came up from this day. This day is not a good day. It should not have been scheduled for this day. Just astrologically, it's really not a good day. It sets us up for a lot of problems. And no matter who wins, the other side is going to say that they didn't win. Nothing is going to be smooth. everybody's going to say that the person didn't win fair and square. I mean, there's going to be problems on either side. This is not going to be anything that's going to determine. Yeah, Kelly. Yeah, I feel like even if somebody says we have a winner, I feel like there's going to be issues with that. I just feel like it's not. I mean, I could be wrong. I'm just going off of the energies that are present astrologically at this time. I don't feel it's going to be that cut and dry, Kelly. I just don't. Because somebody, whoever's going to win, there's going to, like I said, I see lawsuits, I see cases, I see, oh, that this didn't, it's just going to be a mess. Where I don't feel like as a nation, we're going to actually know who won, really. I mean, there will eventually be a winner, but I don't think we're going to know who really won. I know people are saying it could be days. I think it could be weeks before, because even if something is decided, I think that they're going to say, oh, we said it was decided, but now we don't know if it's decided. I feel like the media is going to be giving us hope that, oh yeah, we're going to have a winner by midnight, or we're going to have a winner by 9 a.m. this morning. And then like whatever information we're given by them is going to change also. Because of these technological issues, there could be like a nationwide technological breach. I mean, that could come up too within this is a bad time for digital voting. It just really is. Like if we still had those machines that we had back in the day when I was young, where you go in and the curtain closes and you put the things down, I think we'd have a more accurate count. Vicky's asking me, without naming names, do you have an eventual idea who the eventual winner is? Like, why are you like, what do you mean without naming names? How could I give you the eventual winner is? I can't, because I'd have to name names, right? No, but I feel like this is what I feel. I'll give you guys what I feel, and this has no bearing on my beliefs at all. If you knew my political beliefs, you probably would be shocked that they're not really political. I see things spiritually. So I look at the world and where the world is headed on a bigger scale, and what will happen should somebody get elected. It's not about me and my beliefs. It's not about you and your beliefs. It's about where we're headed. In the pandemic, with COVID, where that's headed with our economy, I don't feel it comes down to just one decision and there's going to be just whoever gets elected is going to be like changing the world. It's not going to happen that way. I will tell you what I feel, and it's I don't want to like take the hope away from people here, but this is not going to be a fair and square situation. Okay, so even though we all voted, there's a point at which I feel, and this is a risk I'm taking to talk about it, and like I said, I don't know if I'm right. So you can't come back and be like, oh, Marissa said this, because this is just what I'm feeling, and I'm getting impressions and energy. I could tell you what happened to me 4 years ago if you guys want to hear this story. I was talking to a client, and I was giving her a mediumship reading, and I'm talking to her parents who passed away on the other side. This is a true story. This is what happened. And her parents said to me to tell her that whoever she voted for would win the election. And she said to me, well, that's impossible, because when I went in, I voted for somebody that I don't even want to admit. I wouldn't even want to admit to my parents that I voted for, because they're a completely different political party. She said, so I don't really believe that they're telling me the truth, because they were on the other side of, and she voted completely opposite of what she normally would have voted for. So she just didn't think that what I was saying or what her parents were saying was true. And when when the election did happen, she, like I said, this is obvious, but her parents were like really staunch, like Democratic Party. And when she went, she was a Democrat, and she did not know who she was voting for. And when she went in to vote, she just heard, I guess, in her mind, she actually voted Republican. She voted for Trump, even though she was not Republican and she was not a Trump supporter. And her parents were not. Her parents were telling me whoever she voted for would win, so she thought it was impossible. And then she contacted me a couple of days later and just said, you know what, this is crazy, but my parents were right. She's like, I didn't expect this to happen. I didn't think there was a possibility because, he wasn't into politics. She just didn't think there was a possibility. So these things have happened to me before. And at this point, I believe, I know this is crazy. I'm just going to tell you guys, but I believe the person who is going to win by numbers, it's going to be the other person who is going to be president. So we're not ever going to know that, though. We're not ever going to know that that's what's going. You're not ever going to get validation about that. Because of all this technological stuff that's going to be happening with the systems, with counting, with mail-in ballots. There's going to get something screwed up with mail-in ballots too. I feel something like with the Midwest. There's something going on with Texas, the Midwest, some of the voting systems in the Midwest. But I do feel like if there was like just like a rant, like the way things were voted. Yeah, Vicky, yeah, I hear what you're saying. I think we kind of knew that before, right? But I don't think we're going to know that this time. I don't think it's ever going to be out in the open what the actual results are going to be, or who really won. I think this is going to be, I think this election specifically is not going to be tried and true to what people voted, what was counted, just because of the different methods of counting and the lawsuits that are going to be happening and the investigations. I think that there's going to be a loss of hundreds of thousands of votes. I would say upwards about 100 to 300,000 votes will not be counted. There will be 500,000 in total that will be miscounted. So that's just what I'm hearing right now. That's what I'm hearing, channeled information. Not my opinion. The good news is we're going to a different era. This is the start of new beginnings. Following this blue moon, if you've had a breakdown in the past week, especially over the weekend when the full moon hit, if some of you went absolutely nuts and crazy, you're in the dark forest like I was talking about last week, that means you really purged a lot of your past. You purged a lot of the dark spaces in you so that you can move forward into this new beginning, into where we're headed. I just hate to tell you we're going to be on a merry-go-round for the next 3 weeks. There's going to be a lot of confusion. And I'm just putting that out there so that you guys could just be braced for it. And just try not to get into any conflict or any debates politically, because you know what? You're not going to change anybody's mind on what they believe. If somebody tries to shame you for what you believe, it's not gonna change anything. Just walk away. There's gonna be a lot of heated situations coming up, especially in the next 3 days. So I would say just don't attach to the energy, because that's where the lower frequencies want you. You just gotta realize that this is not going to be fair and square. It's not. This is not going to be an election that is decided by the people. It's going to be decided by what they're going to approximate in terms of the averages of votes that were miscounted and lost, and technological errors and breaches in technology. So it's going to be an estimation. That's what's coming. Um, Something just wasn't done right. Something just wasn't well thought out as far as them expecting like millions of mail-in votes. They weren't. I don't think people knew how to handle it, or they didn't have the mechanisms to handle it, or the staff. And I think that I definitely think that there's going to be some stuff that could have been controlled and organized better. But I also think these technological errors could not be controlled. So I don't know if they're going to do a recount or what they're going to do, but I'm definitely telling you with the astrological errors and technological errors. Yeah, I don't know. I'm sorry, guys. That's where we're at. I just want you guys to be ready for the shift. It is coming. Um, I don't think either side is going to think that whatever happened was fair. So, Roseanne's asking, how could we expect anything different from 2020? Well, 2020 is going to be different. I've told you guys, if you've been watching the webcast since March, you are all ready for what I'm telling you is in store. January 1st is when we go to the 5D. Right now, we're starting that because we're ending the 6 planetary bodies in retrograde and the moons and the eclipses and everything that are happening. I think that there's going to be major changes in March of 2021 in terms of the virus as well. Kelly's still asking about the schools. Everything that I said from the beginning, Kelly, is still what I feel. Still more changes on the horizon. Roseanne says she felt a shift since the full moon. Yeah, it's going to be the next 3 weeks, guys. Get ready for it. If you like roller coasters and you like chaos, a lot of excitement coming. I don't know. A lot of people just stay away from social media. Stay away from giving your opinion. I just don't want any of you to be out there and to get hurt, emotionally or physically or spiritually. I'm telling you that your opinion means nothing to the person who has an opinion of the other side. It's not going to change anything. So stay out of the energy. All right. So, Carolyn, hi. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being new. I do offer phone sessions. I am on a wait list. Most of the energies that we're dealing with right now, I do about 3 webcasts a week. The office talks about the current energies for the week. We have the lounge every Friday where we bring on amazing guests and we have a great time and we have live music. And on Wednesdays, usually we talk about manifestation and alignment. So I hope you continue to watch, Carolyn. We also have some giveaways of bracelets. By the way, if you want a bracelet, I'll be sending them out soon. And I haven't made any more yet because I don't have any more paracord. But if you guys want to send me some paracord, I'd be happy to make more bracelets. Okay, everybody's trying to guess what I'm trying to say. And I'm not, I told you as much as I know at this point. Okay, I'm not saying, Lisa's saying you think Trump will win. No, this is, what I'm getting is, that's what I'm getting, what I'm telling you. So if you just came on, make sure you watch this from the beginning. I'll probably be on again as I'm getting energies for you guys, if I'm getting information. I'm probably going to be on a little more this week than usual because as I'm getting it, I'm telling you it because I don't really want to forget what's coming. So I know I probably confused you. I just want to let you know that you have to stay out of the energy. That's as much as I'm telling you. There's a lot of confusion. So we all want to control the situation. We all want to have a sense of stability, of security right now, knowing where we're headed. I just want to let you know there's not going to be that security and stability. There's going to be a lot of mystery and a lot of questions. So where you have to find that stability and security is going to be within yourself right now, whatever side you're on, whoever you want to win. It's a bigger picture. I mean, if you think about it, this is a chessboard, right? And presidents are only a part of this, okay? They're like placebo right now. They're just the people that are standing in the place of these roles. There's so many other things in like that. It's just not about, one person that's standing in a role. There's so much going on, not only here in the world, but spiritually and energetically. And like I said, we're in a free will vortex right now. So anything can happen. But I just want to tell you what I see for the next 3 weeks. And so if I tell you what I'm seeing, that hopefully will create a little less agitation because you know what you're expecting. It'll create a little less anxiety. And you'll be like, okay, Marissa talked about this. Eventually we'll move out of it. But part of that is just acceptance and of staying in grounding and of staying back. This is retreating and staying back and out of the lower energy. Remember, we can exist on any level of vibration that we want. Stay out of the arguing because it's not going to change somebody else's opinion, okay? All right, you're right. Belladonna has it right. It all starts with me, my self-care, my self-love, raise my vibration, raise the energy around. Exactly, because this is a free will. This is like a paint our own canvas time in the world, okay? It wasn't that way 4 years ago, okay? Apparently the other side knew who was going to win because they told me. They knew. So there was something evident about that. And Regina, you're right. Goals, honey. Okay. Once we get to 20, I told you, we're coming into a high manifestation period. Once we get to November 19th, I'm going to get real on you guys about manifesting to the 5D and manifesting your goals and dreams. This is the time. You got about 2 weeks to get your foundations laid. And then we're going to talk about moving into how you can move into the energy. Whoever wins, it doesn't matter. You're going to move into your own energy, okay? And experience life that is beyond your dreams. That's what we're going to do. So make sure that if you're not signed up to receive my email when the manifestation course comes out, which is a 30-day Dream Driver program, it's going to be at least 4 hours of content total. It's going to be 25 days of stuff, of videos and exercises, and it will take you to the 5D. So make sure that you go to the description in this video and you just get on the mailing list so that I can email you when enrollment starts and when it stops, because it's not going to be a program that's just going to be right now for the first launch. It's not just going to be available all the time because I'm going to be doing some live work with the people that are involved in the first launch, which I'm not going to do in further launches. This is a very special 30-day program, and the first launch I'm adding a lot of new bonuses and things that I'm not going to be adding later on. So you want to make sure you're involved in this early enrollment, okay, which is coming out. We're coming into manifestation, and it's going to be within the next month. All right, so just get on that list and try to retreat. Remember, surrender into victory. We talked about that last time. Hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I will be back with you probably sooner than later. Have a great one, and I'll talk to you soon.